All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people just like you and just like me. I was cracking myself up before I hit record. Um, so this video is Neal Schon going to be ticked off again? He could be, and this could reignite something that happened in 2017 that for a little while I was famous in 2017. In fact, I believe CNN used a clip of me ranting from my backyard in those days. That was a lot of fun. People say I should just go back to doing videos in the backyard. Maybe. Um, so someone sent me this album. His name is Ken Eisher. It's not just someone. It's called Forget About Me. I'm pretty sure Ken found out about my channel because of the whole Eric Clapton thing. And so this is blues rock. It's really good. It's contemporary blues rock, great production value, great songwriting, great singing, the whole thing, right? And the CD is rather unimpressive. I'm going to just say, but he's like, yeah, I can send you a CD, but everybody is kind of streaming their stuff online. And so, yeah, Spotify, YouTube Music, probably Apple Music. I'd recommend listening to this. It's really good. Ken Eichler and Forget About Me, and it's a hermetically sealed CD, so it's safe, right? It's safe from all of the pathogens that we need to be worried about. Because remember, back in 2020, 2021, people, if you could put yourself in a hermetically sealed container, you wouldn't get sick, supposedly, right? All right. Also want to mention Modern Retro Radio, our friends over there, doing the Lord's work, playing music by people that you're not going to hear. And these are people that you know. So when they put out new stuff, where does that music go? It just goes into the dumpster usually. But modern retro radio will make sure that you'll get to hear that stuff. There's all kinds of great new stuff out there. Their top five is very impressive. Um, I send them a few suggestions. Sometimes they actually take me up on those. And there's actually a video of yours truly talking about modern retro radio toward the end of the Eric Clapton interview. So it all ties together. We've got that. We've got Canton here with his album. And then we're going to find out if Neal Schon is going to blow a gasket again back like he did in 2017, or just like he did in 2017, not back. Back would be then, now would be now. All right. So Cain does this interview with Metro UK. Kind of an interesting interview. So they probably called him. He got back to the States, and they're doing the interview for Jonathan Cain here at the beginning. So does Rockstar Cain really think, like those red hat wearing Americans, that Donald Trump is, as the Tangerine Man himself declared, an innocent man? Well, first of all, typically people don't call Donald Trump Tangerine Man. Hey, Tangerine. That would be tambourine. See, see how I did that. Roger McGuinn needs to step in here because that was horrible. Typically people call him the Orange Man, like Orange Man bad and all that stuff. Um, the Tangerine Man himself. It's like, how unhip can you be when you write this? Well, I'm not going to call him the Orange Man. I'm going to call him the Tangerine Man. Is he an innocent man like Billy Joel says? No, Billy Joel never said Trump was an innocent man. Billy Joel said he was an innocent man. Billy Joel, he's an innocent man. Uh, and then the interviewer here, whose name I'm not going to get unless I scroll somewhere and find it. But again, he's answering the question for Jonathan Cain. Surely not after Trump became the first former U.S. president to be a convicted felon. Surely not. So Cain answers him and says, put it this way. There might have been some misdemeanors, crimes as they're calling it, but yes, I do. So Cain thinks that Donald Trump is an innocent man. Oh boy. What's Neal Schon going to say about this? A deep irony in U.S. law. This guy he's focused on Trump and Cain's relationship to Trump, basically. So, anyway, he says a deep irony in U.S. law means that as a convicted felon, Trump won't be able to vote in the upcoming November election, but he will be able to stand. Okay? Stand like upright. Whether or not he will do from that from a jail cell remains to be seen. Ah, okay. Rather than see this as a disturbing development in the history of the world, his supporters are martyring him, and Cain is one of them. Talk about this is incredible bias. Now, again, I don't have a dog in the Trump versus Biden thing. Although I will say this, um, they have to replace Biden. That Biden is a disaster, like an absolute, like he can't function in public. It's actually gone from disturbing to just sad that they would keep pushing him out there. The other day he just mumbled a bunch of gibberish, and you could see the people behind him like, oh my, oh wow, what was that? And the news media, of course, they skip over all of that and they catch the one sentence he was able to utter correctly. This is what Jonathan Cain says. His supporters are martyring him. I think it was unfair what happened. It was a sad day for the United States, but I think he's a fighter. He has a chance. They can't stop him legally. He can run for president from jail. Cain added, it will make him a legend. Now, see, now we're going from one extreme to another. All right. I don't know if Trump running for president from jail will make him a legend. It sure will make the history books. So the article has kind of like an angry looking picture of Donald Trump. In 2022, Cain got in hot water with Journey founder Neal Schon when he played Don't Stop Believing for Trump at one of his political functions. I told you. I told you. They brought Neal into this. In an open letter, Sean's lawyer said Cain's appearances caused irreparable harm to the Journey brand for associating it with a political viewpoint. Journey is not a political band. And Cain has said this on many different occasions. And he's explaining, I guess, in this video about why they never initially broke in the UK. The keyboardist said former lead singer Steve Perry was always worried something would happen at a concert if they toured Europe back in the 80s. Steve Perry. So this article has everything in it. There was some unrest in Europe and especially over in Ireland. And I think that is what kept Steve Perry away. You know, all the bombing and, you know, the unrest, he said. He was always worried about something happening in one of our shows. I didn't get that because we're not political. We just come and play the hits, you know. Don't Stop Believing, the one song that made it in the UK, was an escape. So the only song apparently that made it in the UK for Journey was Don't Stop Believing. Okay. I didn't know that. I thought maybe some of their other songs were popular in the UK. If you're from the UK, let me know. Let me know. If you're a patron, you can hit me up. It's $1 a month if you're not. It's really not a big deal. Apparently over there, you know, a pint is more expensive than what we're selling our beers over here for, which is kind of crazy. Cain said, but in the end, I think we missed an opportunity that we could have showed up. There would have been no trouble. I don't think at all, but he had to approve it, and he said it just wasn't safe. So add that to the history of everything, that Steve Perry did not want the band to go to England because he was afraid a bomb might go off. That's basically what this is talking about here. So they stopped talking about Donald Trump. They did shift gears. They're talking about Arnell. I was young enough to deal with it, Cain added, but Steve had to sing all this stuff. And in the end, I think it took its toll. And that's why he's not with us. So this is basically, you know, this drops a couple of bombshells. It's basically saying that It took its toll. He doesn't say on his vocals, but he does say his voice is very sensitive and he needs time off. Yeah. So very interesting article. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. In fact, I might do a part 2 of this because there's so much in here. But this first part, is this going to cause trouble with Neal Schon? Because basically Cain is saying that Trump's going to be a legend, right? He's going to be a legend if he runs from jail. They're not. I don't think they're going to put Donald Trump in jail prior to the election. By the way, I think if they did that, this is, it's very strange what we're living through right now. But I think if they did that, then there would be people that would say, I'm just going to vote for it. Because people do things almost because if you tell them they can't, they're going to say, oh, no, no, you're not. You're not going to. And they're trying to take, people off the ballot. I think they tried it in Colorado where they tried to take them off the ballot. And the court ruled, no, the state can't do that. They can't do that. So in any event, is Jonathan Cain in more hot water with Neal Schon? That's really what's going to be interesting to see if Neal Schon comments and says, he can't stand Trump. But the two wives are working together. Everybody, it's like kumbaya now in Journey. That's what I've heard. I mean, we had Dean Castronovo on, and he confirmed all that. Everybody's getting along great. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I want to give this a plug one more time before I go here. I know it's not my most coherent video, and I apologize. Ken Eisher, Forget About Me is the name of this album, and it's good. This is blues rock. It's well produced. Ken was nice enough to send me multiple copies of this. Makes for a good conversation starter, right? So that's why I'm showcasing it here. And again, one more plug for modern retro radio, playing all the stuff that you're not hearing on mainstream stations and doing it their way. A great group of people over there who love radio. And I definitely commiserate with all the old radio people because we had it good in the old days. We had a lot of fun, and the fun is kind of gone from radio for the most part. So yeah, modern retro radio. I'll be back. I'll do a part 2 on this with regards to Steve Perry. So stay tuned for that.